Hello everyone. So we were discussing the important current affairs from past 1 year 2024. So in our previous sessions we have discussed regarding several significant events from the 2024 related to art and culture, including the centenaries of this Vaikom Satyagraha. We have also discussed regarding self-respect movement, regarding Periyar, E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar also we have discussed, and also the 100th anniversary of the discovery of Indus Valley Civilization. So we have again went on to little static topic also, like the important places in Indus Valley Civilization, and also few other topic also we have covered. Okay. So in today's session we will be continuing with the same thing. We will be going with some of the important events which happened in the past 1 year, and also we will be having some important government schemes are also coming in this particular session. Okay. All right. So first let's discuss one of the greatest symbols of India's intellectual and cultural past, that is related to Nalanda University. Okay, related to Nalanda University. So something very much important related to Nalanda University happened last year. So recently the Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, so he inaugurated a new campus in the exactly in the same place of the old campus. So that was in Rajkir in Bihar, and again that's also very powerful gesture that seeks to revive this ancient spirit of one of the most prominent learning centers or oldest centers of learning in the world itself. Okay. All right. So we will start with the brief background of the earlier Nalanda University. Okay. All right. So regarding Nalanda University, the location of Nalanda University is located in Bihar, present day Bihar. So in our ancient history class general, we have seen this particular name, that is Magadha. Okay, Magadha from the Mahajanapatha era, from the Vedic era, even pre-Mauryan period itself, Magadha was one of the most important places. So this Nalanda University is located in Magadha, which is in the present day Bihar, present day state of Bihar. Okay, so this one of the most popular learning centers at that time, and it was founded by during the Gupta age, by the king Kumaragupta I. So he is said to be the founder of this Nalanda University. And Gupta age, we all know that Gupta age is considered as a golden age of India. Because during this Gupta age we have seen a lot of enhancements in the every field. For example, take literature, take architecture, take religion, Hindu temple architecture, all these things are coming during this Gupta age. So that is why we consider this Gupta age as a golden age. So Nalanda University is also one of the important products of this golden age or the Gupta age, and it was founded by Kumaragupta I. Okay, Kumaragupta I, he was one of the most important rulers of this Gupta dynasty. And this location is also very much important because Nalanda is very strategically located, because many important foreigners, based on this location, many important foreign travelers, scholars, they were also able to visit this University of Nalanda. And also we have some other prominent university was also there, that was Takshashila University. So this was in northwestern part of India. In the present day Pakistan, we have this Takshila University, and other than that we have in Morocco and all similar kind of universities were there, but still this Nalanda University was a residential university. These universities were not residential universities. So this Nalanda University is the world's first residential university. So that is a significance of this Nalanda University. And also the background of this Nalanda University was Buddhism, but still it promoted a secular learning atmosphere. Okay, so background was Buddhism, but it promoted a secular learning initiative. It is not just religion alone. The teaching was not in religion alone, but many other disciplines were also there. Like for example, like the medicine was there, mathematics was there, astronomy was there, logic, grammar, and even arts or maybe language studies. So everything was incorporated in this particular Nalanda University. Okay, all right. So that's a brief overview of Nalanda University. Now, what is actually the significance of this one? I have already mentioned that this is the world's first residential university. Even though we have many prominent other universities like Takshila and in Morocco and all universities were there, but still this is the world's first residential university. Residential university means what? People will be coming here, they will be staying here for some time over the period of time, and they will be teaching, they will be learning. So like that way, it was acting as a residential university. Okay, and also Nalanda is recognized as a place where diverse disciples of diverse sections were also there. For example, it is a pan-Asian exchange we can see that. For disciples from China will be coming, Korea will be coming, South Asia will be coming, from the West they will be coming. So, like that we can see a very diverse student as well as teacher population in this particular campus. And also Nalanda was very well known for its massive libraries. It is said that according to some text and all, it is said that 9 massive libraries were existing in this Nalanda. Okay. And among that, the most popular one was Dharmaganja. Dharmaganja was the most popular among this 9 universities. It is said that it's a very vast repository of especially this Buddhist and Hindu philosophical learning. So, this Dharmaganja is said to be a very vast repository of all this, containing very numerous volumes of this text, especially the older texts. Okay. All right. And also related to Buddhism, if we are saying that it is related to Buddhism, this was mostly associated with the Mahayana sect of Buddhism. Mostly associated with the Mahayana sect of Buddhism. Like I have already told, this is not a place where only religion is taught. Okay, Buddhism was a background of this university. Many of the important Buddhist scholars also came to this university, but don't think that it was only Buddhism which was taught in this university, but many other diverse areas were also taught in this particular university. Okay, all right. So, anyway, this stood as a model for the future universities also. Future universities, or maybe in this area itself we have other universities like Vikramshila, Authandapuri and all. So, this stood as a model for the future universities also. Okay. All right. So, there were many important personalities associated with this particular university. One was the famous mathematician Aryabhatta. Okay, famous mathematician Aryabhatta. We all know what were the contributions of Aryabhatta. He is credited with the invention of zero, many things related to astronomy and all has been credited to Aryabhatta. Okay, and also we have Nagarjuna. Nagarjuna was a Mahayana Buddhist philosopher. Again, he is also linked with the concept of shunyata, shunyata or emptiness. Okay, Aryabhatta, it's actually the mathematical concept of zero. Mathematical concept of zero plus astronomy, contributions in astronomy and mathematics. Okay. So, Nagarjuna was basically a Buddhist philosopher. Buddhist philosopher, and his famous contribution was the concept of shunyata. Shunyata has nothing to do with zero, but it is emptiness. Okay. The concept of emptiness, that is what Nagarjuna was propagating. Okay. And also we have Naropa. Again, he was also a Buddhist tantric scholar. Okay. Tantric scholar means in the Vajrayana form of Buddhism. Okay. So, that was Naropa doing. He was a Buddhist tantric scholar. Buddhist tantric scholar, and the most famous person among this is Huing Sang. Huing Sang, again Huing Sang is associated with a lot of kingdoms in India. For example, he came in India during the time period of Harsha. So, he was one of the major persons in the during the time period of Harsha itself. He came to spread Mahayana Buddhism, and he was also very much instrumental in converting Harshavardhana to a Buddhist believer. Okay. So, like that way, Huing Sang, the most famous Chinese traveler, Huing Sang is also coming during this particular period. So, he stayed in Nalanda for several years, and he documented in its curriculum and even the campus life, everything was documented by Huing Sang. So, from Huing Sang's record also we came to know about what was actually the social life of this Nalanda University. Okay. Again, another Chinese traveler is also there, Itzing or Itzing. Okay. He is also a Chinese scholar. So, from his records also we came to know related to the Buddhist practices, and even the educational system at Nalanda was also recorded in this. Okay. Anyway, these scholars not only studied at Nalanda, but also translated important Buddhist scriptures also. Okay. So, thereby they have actually spread the Indian knowledge traditions to other part, especially to the East Asia as well as Southeast Asia also. Okay. All right. So, Nalanda, even though Nalanda was founded during the period of Gupta dynasty by Kumaragupta I, many other kings after this Gupta period also, after the patronage of Gupta period also, many other dynasties, they also gave patronage to this Nalanda University. Okay. We will see some of the important patrons of this Nalanda University. One, obviously, it is in the Guptas only, okay, especially after the period of the Kumaragupta, Nalanda was one of the peak learning centers. Okay. All right. So, after that, it is a Mokhori dynasty. Mokhori dynasty is a dynasty which is coming in the post-Guptan period. So especially in the present day UP region and all, Maurya dynasty was very much prominent. Usually we don't include this in our studies of this ancient history, but still Maurya is related to Nalanda. Maurya has some contributions also. Okay, another one, the most famous one, that is Harshavardhana. So he was part of the Pushyabhudi dynasty. Okay, Pushyabhudi dynasty. So during his period only, Huingsang is coming to India. And he stayed in Nalanda University also during this particular period only. Okay, and another one in the later period, one of the important contributors or to this Nalanda University, maybe we can say that this is a peak period of the Nalanda University. That was during the period of the Pala Empire. Okay, so Palas, they were ruling over the eastern part of India, like the Bengal, Odisha region. Palas were popular in that region. Even the art, literature, like Pala school of painting was there, and also the literature also flourished during this Pala period. So they were also patrons of devout patrons of this Mahayana Buddhism, and even Nalanda was also having the Buddhist background. So that connection is also there between this Pala also. Okay, all right. So the admission to Nalanda was also very much interesting because it was done during an oral exam will be done by the monks. So even to enter Nalanda University itself, you have to pass this examination, same like the entrance examination we have nowadays. Okay, all right. So whatever it be, this Nalanda University was actually a model for all the future universities in the later period. Okay, so however, Nalanda also had a decline phase. We cannot say it as a decline phase. It was a sudden destruction happened during the time period of Bakhtiyar Khilji. In the 12th century, Bakhtiyar Khilji came 1193. So he invaded this area. And he destroyed the Nalanda's illustrious journey in 1193 C. Okay, Bakhtiyar Khilji was a Turkish military general. Okay, all the libraries were burnt, and reportedly it is said that, I don't know whether it's believable or not, but it is believed that it took almost 3 months to 4 months to completely burn all these manuscripts in the Nalanda Institute. So that was actually the quantum of the text, or maybe the knowledge which we had in the Nalanda University. Okay, all right. So again, it marked the decline of the Buddhist learning in India. Okay, because Nalanda University was having the background of the Buddhism. Okay, especially during the Pala period. So once Nalanda is done, the Buddhism also gradually declined in India. Okay, all right. Yeah, after that, the rediscovery and legacy of this Nalanda University. So 19th century, Sir Francis Buchanan. So he first surveyed it in the 19th century, and he identified formally, and it was formally identified by Alexander Cunningham. Alexander Cunningham was often known as the father of Indian archaeology. He was one of the earliest director generals of the Archaeological Survey of India also. Okay, so in the 19th century, many excavations happened in this area, and many of the details were unearthed. Like the monasteries were there, temples were there, scriptures, inscriptions, many were unearthed, but still 99.9% of the knowledge which we had in Nalanda, that was lost. Other than architecture, scriptures, everything was lost. Okay, all right. And 2016, considering all this relevance, UNESCO has added it into the World Heritage Site list. Okay, so that was one of the important recognitions of this Nalanda University. Okay, all right. Moving on to another important resistance or the rebellion which happened during the British period. So that is a Santal Hull, which was Santal rebellion, which happened in 1855. Okay, so the relevance is 2024 June 30th. So that marked that commenced the 169th anniversary of this Santal Hull. Okay, so this is a tribal resistance against the colonial exploitation, okay, by the Britishers in the eastern part of India. Okay, all right. So we need to know a little background about this particular thing. Okay, so in 1963, the Britishers introduced a land taxation system known as a permanent settlement. Okay, so we had different taxation system like permanent settlement system was there. It's also known as the zamindari system, and also we had the mahalwari system was there, and the rohitwari system was also there. So in the eastern part of India, permanent settlement system was followed. Okay. After this, the British policies became more aggressive, and also it led to the rise of a new class of people known as the zamindars or the Germans. So the rise of that's why it is also known as a permanent settlement system. Okay, so basically permanent settlement system means the company will be fixing a tax for that particular agriculture land, and middlemen will also be there. So they were the zamindars. So the farmers have to pay the money to the zamindars. So zamindars will be paying the money to the government. Okay, so this kind of a middleman system, so that was a permanent settlement system. Okay, the problem here is the zamindars started exerting more power, and they demanded more, many times the tax fixed by the government, so that they can become much profitable, and this led to the exploitation of the tribals as well as agriculturalists in this particular area. So this is basically the background of the permanent settlement system. Okay, so this popular tribe in that area was Zandal tribe. They were known now also they were known for their love for freedom and even the simple forms of living also. Okay, and after this they were invited to settle in this particular region, that is Daminico. In 1832 they were invited to settle in Daminico. So this is an area carved out from the Bengal Presidency. Bengal Presidency means present day it will be in the Jharkhand region will be there, and like the Sahibganj region, Deokar region, all these regions will be there. Okay, so the Britishers promised them land and also peaceful agricultural livelihood. They were tribal, so they were they want them to shift here, and they want them to practice agricultural livelihood. So however, the Sandals became victims of this land grabbing, the permanent settlement system, and again it was very heavy taxation was there, and also it was exploitative, that finally led to the debt. And ultimately many people had to suffer lot of economic exploitation also. Okay, and also two important bonded labor systems are also coming. Okay, bonded labor system, one is a Kamyoti system and other one is a Harwahi system. Okay, so these kind of terms are very much important from the UPSC perspective, so keep this in mind. Okay, so Kamyoti system means the debtors worked indefinitely for the creditors, so that they'll be taking the loans, right? So instead of giving the money, they have to indefinitely work for the this people. Okay, but repayment was practically impossible because that much taxation was also there. Another one was a Harwahi system. So in Harwahi system, the peasants were forced to plow this lender fields without any hope of freedom. So that is what happened in this Harwahi system. So two important bonded labor systems were predominating. So what was actually the result? So obviously, like we have all guessed, it will be crippling the poverty. Again, they became poor, and also they started to exploit a lot also. They lost their autonomy, and even the tribal identity. Now they are agricultural, so they even lost the tribal identity also. All this made anchor among this particular community, and that ultimately led to the rebellion. Okay, Yeah. So what were the objectives of the Hull? So like we've said, they wanted more freedom. So economic justice was needed. They wanted to go back to their like now also they are kind of a people who loves this kind of simple living as well as the freedom. Okay, they wanted economic justice to end the tyranny of the zamindars, the middlemen, and also money lenders, sahukar, so the money lenders, and obviously of the Britishers also. So they want all the levels to be shower economic justice over them, and also they want the cultural survival, because ultimately the Sandal was a tribal community, so they had their own customs, their religious practice, and even their own way of life. So they wanted to protect this particular thing also. Okay, and another one obviously political assertion. So they challenged the foreign and alien rule, and they wanted now they wanted British East India Company to give away the political rights, and now they want more political control over them. So this was actually the objectives of this particular rebellion. Okay, so they organized mass rebellions all across this Sandal Paraganas or Sandal regions, and even 60,000 plus Sandal tribes were part of this thing, and they targeted the people who they call it as Dikus. Dikus means the foreigners or outsiders that exploited them. Okay, so this is actually the objectives of the Sandal rebellion. Okay, so we'll see some of the important people associated with this Sandal rebellion. One, again, the Murmu community is very famous among the Sandals. Okay, so one is Sidhu Murmu. Sidhu Murmu, he is the most important or maybe the visionary leader in the Sandal rebellion itself, and another one is Kano Murmu. Okay, Sidhu Murmu. Kano Murmu was a chief strategist in this rebellion, and we have Chandu Murmu and Bhairav Murmu. Chandu Murmu and Bhairav Murmu. So they were actually siblings and fierce warriors also, and also Jano Murmu and Bhulo Murmu. Again, they were also siblings and they were the frontline fighter. Okay, and even one important line which famously said by Sidhu Murmu, that is, we are the Raj now. Okay, we are the Raj now. So this was actually a declaration of their sovereignty. Okay, we know, right, British is called British Raj. So because of their sovereignty, now they are saying that no, now we are the Raj now. It is not the Britishers, but we are the Raj now. Okay, all right. So all this led to some important outcomes. That is, the government had to pass this Sandal Paraganas Tenancy Act in 1871. So it was asked in UPSC exam also. Sandal Paraganas Tenancy Act. So this was actually a relief. So this recognized the Sandal rights over the ancestral land and also prohibited the sale of transfer of other Adivasi land to the non-Adivasi, that is the Dikus, the people they called as Dikus. So that also happened. Okay, so protected the Sandal cultural and economic autonomy to some extent also. Okay, so we can say that Sandal Hal or Sandal rebellion is one of the important chapters in the history of India, or maybe we can say that even before the around the time of this 1857 rebellion, another important rebellion is coming from the Adivasis, that is the tribal people, that is a Sandal rebellion. Okay, all right. So moving on to a government scheme which was announced especially during the UNESCO session which happened in India. So this is Project Pari. Project Pari. So Pari stands for Public Art of India. Pari stands for Public Art of India. So this is actually a very significant initiative which was taken by Ministry of Culture. Ministry of Culture. This is actually aligning with both national pride as well as international pride, because the government announced it during the UNESCO session which happened in India. So the 46th session of UNESCO World Heritage Committee. World Heritage Committee is to select the World Heritage sites. Okay, so last year in 2024, the session happened in India. That too for the first time. So at that time, the government the nation want to showcase their heritage to the foreigners, and obviously even after that also we wanted to continue this. So this is actually the purpose of Project Pari. Okay, all right. We all know what is actually the cultural heritage of India. India is a very diverse country with very diverse culture and all. Even not for the foreigners alone, but for other people. For example, the culture of Kerala, we want to showcase it to the culture to the people of Jharkhand. The culture of Jharkhand, we want to showcase it to the people of Jammu Kashmir. So like that way, the culture has to be known. For that, we need to show our identities. Okay, so this started during this was actually an initiative by Ministry of Culture, and it started during the 46th UNESCO World Heritage Committee, which happened in Delhi. Okay, which happened in Delhi. So purpose is to blend heritage with the contemporary urban space. So what were actually they doing? They used to paint the walls. They used to showcase the sculptures during these exhibitions and all. They used to showcase the sculptures, unique sculptures from one area. So like that way, traditional art forms will be showcased, celebrating the festivals of that area. So like that way, more themes were actually drawn into this particular project. Okay. All right. So two important agencies which are involved in the implementation of this particular project. One is Lalitha Kala Academy. Lalitha Kala Academy. So Lalitha Kala Academy is India's National Academy for Fine Arts. National Academy for Fine Arts. So this was established in 1954, and National Gallery of Modern Art. So again, this is also a major cultural institution preserving the modern as well as the contemporary Indian art. Okay, so these two bodies, they are together, they are actually involved in implementing this Project Pari. Okay, Project Pari. All right. So there are some important themes which we have taken to implement this particular project Pari. Okay. So one is obviously nature. Okay, celebrating our biodiversity, our environment balance, all these things can do that. Another one is related to dance, that is Natya Shastra. Okay, so Natya Shastra is actually a treatise of Indian classical dance. It was written by Bharata Muni, and obviously Gandhiji is also cultural icon, maybe an icon which we can showcase to the world. Okay, so according this non-violence, simplicity, and even UN has selected recognized as idols as well as a theme of ahimsa also. Okay, so like that way, recognizing that one, and obviously we have traditional toys also. For example, if you go to one place south in Tamil Nadu, Tanjavur region, you can see the Tanjavur dolls are there, which is unique from other parts of the dolls. Okay, if you go to Karnataka, you can see the Channapatna dolls will be there. So if you go to again Karnataka, we have Kinnal toys are there. Andhra, we have the Nirmal toys are there. So like that, different toys are having different style, different culture, different history. So everything is there. So we want to showcase all this thing to everyone. Okay, so that is one of the purpose. Okay, and obviously India is known for its hospitality and harmony, and we have this term Aditi Devo Bhava. Aditi Devo Bhava means consider the guest like the god itself. Okay, so that kind of Aditi Devo Bhava concept is also there. Okay, and also obviously Nad. Nad is a primeval sound. Okay, primeval sound. So this highlights the spirituality. Okay, spirituality, spiritual philosophy. So everything is coming in this Nad, the divine sound. Okay, and another one Kalpataru, the divine tree. So this is a symbol, mythical symbol of the both fulfillment as well as a sustainability. Okay, so that is Kalpataru. So these are some of the key themes which will be explored in the project Pari. Okay, all right. Moving on to next important topic. So this is related to the UNESCO's Memory of World Program. UNESCO's Memory of World Program. So recently, some of the important text, some of the important ancient texts from India, so that were added to this UNESCO's Memory of World Program. Okay, so these were the texts. Anyway, we'll be discussing in them all of them in detail. One is Ramacharita another one is Panchatantra, Sahridaya Lokalokana, Bhagavad Gita, and Natya Shastra. Okay, Bhagavad Gita and Natya Shastra were added recently, not in 2024, but in 2025 itself. Okay, so we'll see what are these categories of this MOW program, and again the brief history of this program also. Okay, all right. So related to what is this Memory of World Program? So this was something which was launched in 1992 by UNESCO. Launched in 1992 by UNESCO. So this is an international initiative, obviously from UNESCO international initiative. So aim is to preserve and give universal access to the world's documentary heritage. Documentary heritage means that, for example, take Natya. I'll come to that anyway later. Natya Shastra is a encyclopedia of dance itself. Okay, so this is applicable for almost all the dances, all the classical dances in India. So maybe if you consider the dances in Western world also, this will be coinciding. So like that way, it's a very important text. Okay, so we want to make it public, we want to make it accessible for the entire globe itself. Okay, and also we have to preserve this heritage also, and UNESCO themselves is using this particular term, that is guarding against the collective amnesia. Guarding against the collective amnesia. It should not go out of the memory. It should not go out of the memory of the world. Okay, so that is the purpose of this particular program, that is Memory of World Program. Okay, guards against the collective amnesia. Okay, so it can be of the categories can be varied. For example, like documents can be there, manuscripts can be there, recordings, even oral traditions like the Vedic chanting in India, or maybe the Buddhist chanting in Ladakh, which you have seen. So like that way, many important things are coming in this. Many important categories we can include in this Memory of the World Program. Okay, all right. All right, so there are a few categories in which this MOW registers are there. One is the international register. So international register means it will be having global significance. For example, Vedas are having global significance, like Rig Veda, and also Tamil manuscripts written by Tirukural, written by Tiruvalluvar. So like that way, these are some of the having international recognition. Okay, and also Natya Shastra is also, like I have mentioned, it's having some relation with all the dance forms in all over the world itself. Okay, so these are international registers, very important registers or international registers, and also we have regional registers are also there. For example, take some region, in that particular region it will be having some relevance. For example, take Asia Pacific region, that's a regional register, and we have national registers also. National register mean, for example, we have come up with a program like National Mission for Manuscripts in India. Okay, so the locally will be so using all this thing. Maybe it might not be a global really important one, but still compared to Indian languages and all, it will be important. Okay, so that is Memory of World Register. Okay, all right. So this is related to the international register. So we have 13 entries in the international register so far, and Rigveda was added in 2005. And also the ancient Vedic scriptures, ancient Vedic Sanskrit scriptures like the Shaiva manuscript. Okay, you know, right? Shaiva manuscripts means it will be, yeah, Shaiva manuscripts mean related to Shaivism. Shaivism means worship of Shiva, philosophy on the Shaivism, and also Tamil modern Tamil medical manuscripts are also there. Okay, so that's also very much important. And another one is Abhinava Gupta's work. So these are writings on this Tantra and aesthetics, Abhinava Gupta's work, and also non-aligned movement archives. Okay, so it's not like we'll only include ancient ones, but still India's contribution to the non-aligned movement during Bandung conference and all, you might be studying in the post-independence history also. Another one, the Dutch East India Company's archives in India. Okay, the VOC archives in India. Okay, so that's also, so even Dutch India Company's archives, the relevance is like Dutch India Company is one of the companies, Europeans who came to India, who had a very sophisticated system of record keeping. Okay, so like that way also it is very much important. Okay, so these are some of the things in the international registers. We have 13 entries in the international register. Okay, all right. So recently we have added two important ones in the international register and three important ones in the Asia Pacific register. Okay, so one is international register, we have added Bhagavad Gita and Natya Shastra. Asia Pacific region register, we have added Ramacharita-manas, Panchatantra and Sahridaya Logana. Okay, so these are the additions we have. Okay, so first related to Ramacharita-manas. Okay, Ramacharita-manas was written by Goswami Tulasidas. Ramacharita-manas was written by Goswami Tulasidas. Okay, so this is basically Ramacharita-manas is the story of Rama, Ramayana, Tulasidas version of Ramayana. So there are actually few changes from what Vatmiki has written and this Ramacharita Tulasidas has written. Okay, and another important text is Panchatantra. It was written by Vishnu Sharma. You might have heard the Panchatantra stories and all during your younger days and all. Okay, Panchatantra, it's a very important book. Moral stories, we can see a lot of moral stories, the principles. Again, this is an animal fable because mostly animals will be the characters in this Panchatantra. Okay, that's also very important text. Okay, another one is Sahridaya Logana. Okay, Sahridaya Logana. So this is a very important treatise, written by Acharya Anandavarthana. So this is a foundation of Indian aesthetics and poetics. And this is actually introducing a concept known as Dhwani. Okay, Dhwani or the suggestion in literature. Now also in the Indian literary theory, this concept is used. Okay, all right. Another one, in the international level, we have the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita, this is actually part of Mahabharata itself. It was written by Vyasa. Okay, part of Mahabharata where there is a philosophical dialogue. During the Kurukshetra war, there is a philosophical dialogue which is happening between Arjuna and Krishna, or maybe Krishna's advices to Arjuna. So that is recorded in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, all right. So that's maybe we can say that Vyasa has written this. Sage Vyasa is credited with. Another one is Natya Shastra. This was written by Bharata Muni. written by Bharata Muni. So, this is a treatise on the ancient, treatise on the classical dance, treatise on the classical dance in India, an ancient Sanskrit treatise on not just dance, but still even drama, maybe music, or maybe even aesthetics in the dance also. Okay, so, and maybe it's very famous for codifying the rasa theory, the Navarasa theory, and all. It's very much famous. Okay. All right, moving on to next important topic. Recently, I've already mentioned that the 46th session of UNESCO World Heritage Committee was held in India and New Delhi. So, in this newly inscribed, we have got a newly inscribed site. Okay, new site was newly inscribed in this UNESCO World Heritage list, prestigious list. So, that was a Charaideo Moidams of Assam. Charaideo Moidams of Assam. Okay. So, first let us understand what is this UNESCO World Heritage Site. Okay. So, UNESCO World Heritage Sites are the most revered sites in India in fields of culture, whether it be cultural, whether it be natural, or whether it be mixed. So, it should be very much unique compared to other sites. For example, if you Taj Mahal is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Taj Mahal is a cultural site. Okay. So, Taj Mahal is considered as one of the prime examples of the Islamic architecture in the entire world itself. So, that is, there is nothing like Taj Mahal in the world. So, that much uniqueness should be there. Or maybe natural, we have natural sites. For example, take the case of Kaziranga National Park. Kaziranga National Park is very much known for its unique flora and fauna. Or maybe take the case of Western Ghats. You will never see the kind of flora and fauna we will see in Western Ghats in anywhere else in the world. So, this kind of uniqueness should be there. So, mixed sites means it should be having both cultural aspect as well as a natural aspect should be there. Okay. So, in India we have one mixed site is also there in India. Okay. All right. So, that is all these things are based on the 1972 Convention concerning the protection of world cultural and natural site. Okay. So, UNESCO is a body which is headquartered in Paris. So, this is something which in the Paris committee meeting. So, this convention was accepted and almost all the parties are part of, all the nations are part of this convention. So, that is why the sites from their country will be added to this particular prestigious list. Okay. So, as of 2024 we have 43 sites are there, including the one which was added in 2024. Okay. 34 cultural, 7 natural and 1 mixed site is there. Okay. All right. So, we will see what is this. Before moving on to this Charaideo Moidams, we need to understand regarding Ahoms, because this Charaideo Moidams are the royal necropolis of Ahoms. Royal necropolis means the sites where the important kings or maybe the important personalities in the in a kingdom will be buried. Okay. For example, take the case of mummies, pyramids. Pyramids will be having mummies, right? Mummies will be of the royal people. Okay. So, same way they are the royal necropolis in India, especially in the northeastern part of India. Okay. A brief history regarding the Ahom dynasty. So, Ahom dynasty is originally a Thai speaking group. We have different types of population, different types of language groups are there. So, this is Thai speaking group. So, they migrated from the present day Yunnan region in China. From Yunnan region they migrated to the present day northwestern part of India, especially the Assam region. They entered through the the Brahmaputra valley. It's like going like this. Okay, that curve will be there. So, entered through that region in the early 13th century. Okay, so their leader was Chaolong Sukapa. So, he founded this Ahom dynasty in 1228 CE or in the 13th century, and they made Charaideo as their first capital. And and they have ruled this area, this Assam or maybe the northwestern region for over 600 plus years. Okay. So, Ahom dynasty is one of the longest lived dynasty in India. Okay. It was a very powerful dynasty. It was decentralized, and also military. The military of Ahom dynasty is also very much popular. Okay. Especially in the Battle of Saraikat, the valor they showed in the Battle of Saraikat in 1671. Okay. So, this was led by one of the important or maybe one of the most powerful generals of this Ahom dynasty. So, that was Lachit Borphukan. He was an Ahom commander, was a Ahom commander. So this was fought between the Ahoms as well as the Mughals. Okay, so Mughal dynasty, Mughal army was under the generalship of Ram Singh. Okay, so during that thing, Aurangzeb was a commander. Sorry, Aurangzeb was a Mughal king, and he had the Mughal commander Ram Singh. Ram Singh was a Mughal commander. So Ahoms were led by Lachit Borphukan. Okay, Lachit Borphukan. So this Ahoms defeated the Mughal army. Ahoms defeated the Mughal army sent by Aurangzeb, and this battle is very much celebrated as the defining moment in India's resistance against the imperial invasion. Okay, Aurangzeb was a person who especially who destroyed all the cultural symbols of other non-Muslim sects also. Okay, and also this person Lachit Borphukan, so he was later hailed as a not just as a military leader but as a divine person itself. Okay, and also now also we have the Lachit Borphukan gold medal. So that is awarded annually at the NDA. Okay, for the best cadet of the NDA. So that's also there. Okay. Now later regarding the Charaideo Moidams, this is a royal necropolis of the Ahom dynasty. Royal necropolis of the Ahom dynasty. So this is located in the foothills of the Paikal range. Paikal range in Assam. Some geography also. Okay, foothills of the Paikal range in Assam. This is in the Charaideo district. Okay, so the nature of the site is it's a royal necropolis of this Ahom dynasty or the Thai Ahom dynasty. Okay. So the uniqueness of this construction is they have used different materials. For example, brick was used. Brick was used. Usually, most of these constructions will be like the contemporary constructions will be in stone only, not in brick, but it will be in stone only. But here they have used brick, and also these are kind of a mound burial site. Mound burial site, and it will be having different materials. Like brick is the predominant material, stone will be there, some clay, earth will also be there. So the function is royal necropolis means they will be housing the remains of the Ahom kings. The king will be in the coffin, and also the belongings of the king, and also they will be giving food, the grave foods for the king. Even sometimes elephants, horses, they will also be buried along with this kings, and sometimes even people associated like the servants, attendants, so that they believe that there will be an afterlife for the king. There will be an afterlife for the king, and these people or maybe these items will be necessary for him in the afterlife. Okay. So these burial practices, again we can see that in some other parts of the world also we can see that, especially in the, you can compare it with the Egyptian pyramids. Okay. It's also somewhat similar. Mummification is not happening here, but still comparable to the Egyptian pyramid, and also it is inspired by many other traditions like the Thai tradition, the Central Asian traditions also. We can see similar things also. Okay. All right. So this they had this ritual known as Me Dam Me Phi. Me Dam Me Phi means it's a ancestral worship. Ancestral worship. So basically, this is not just the burial mound, but later the people in the lineage, so they will come here. They will come here and they use it as a kind of a temple. Okay, kind of a temple. They have their own rituals also that we called as a Me Dam Me Bhi ritual. Okay, Me Dam Me Bhi ritual. So this is very much significant compared to in India. We will not see this kind of a practice in most of the prominent dynasties. So that makes this thing very much significant. And also we have another lot of moidams. Around 90 identifiable moidams has been unearthed from this, and we can see that around 600 plus years Ahoms have been ruling in India, and 500 years of cultural continuity. And this is actually the last site of the 43rd site which has been added to the prestigious UNESCO World Heritage List. Okay. All right, moving on to next topic. So this is the world craft cities. World craft cities. So recently, Srinagar has become the 4th Indian city to be recognized as a World Craft City by World Craft Council. Okay, World Craft Council. So we'll see what is this World Craft Council and what is the significance of this. Okay. So regarding World Craft Council, this is a UNESCO affiliated non-profit organization. UNESCO affiliated non-profit organization found in 1964. 1964, and its headquarters is important. That is Kuwait. Kuwait is, usually we won't find much headquarters in this Kuwait region. Okay, so this is actually a program. The World Craft City is a program which was launched by this UNESCO affiliated non-profit. The main objective is to build a global network of cities, that is having some unique unique practices will be there. Okay, because unique crafts will be there. So we want to create a global network. Same like the UNESCO World Heritage sites, we need a list or maybe the compilation of a important craft cities. Okay, so they have a structure which has organized itself into different global regions. One is a African region, Asia Pacific region, European region, Latin American region, and North American region. So India is coming in the Asia Pacific region. Okay, Asia Pacific region, and there is actually some unique criteria also. If a city is qualifying this much criteria, then that city will be considered for the UNESCO World Craft Cities inclusion. Okay, so one, there should be a craft excellence should be there. Craft excellence means it should be having it's not just a normal craft, but it should have some sort of very much creativity should be there, and also cultural continuity. It should have, it's not something which has started just now. It should have some lot of history should be there, and also livelihood development. It should be contributing to the livelihood development of this artisans, or maybe contribute to the craft economy in that country also. Okay, all right. So some of the important craft cities in India. One is Jaipur. Jaipur in Rajasthan. Again, Jaipur is very much known for its what crafts, important crafts. The Kundan Jadai, the gem setting of the Kundan Jadai. Kundan Jadai, or the Katputli puppetry making. So like that. This is Kundan Jadai means gem setting. Okay, gem setting, and also places like the Johari Bazaar. Okay, Johari Bazaar. So there also it is very much famous for its artisan communities also. Okay, and another one is Mysuru. Mysuru in Karnataka. Again, Mysuru in Karnataka. Coming to South, Mysuru is a very important place for this culture, and also Mysuru is predominantly known for its sandalwood things, sandalwood and rosewood works. Okay, so even starting from soaps, agarbattis also we can see in sandalwood and rosewood also. Rosewood inlays we can see, sandalwood and rosewood. Okay, coming to Mamallapuram in Tamil Nadu, we have the Pallava tradition of this sculpture making in Mamallapuram. So that's also very much important. Sculptures of Mamallapuram, okay, from the Pallava period itself. And finally, we have the last city to be added, that is Srinagar. Okay, Srinagar is also very much known for its crafts, especially the pashmina cloth work, and also the paper mash pashmina craft. Paper mash means they will be making a mix of the paper and water, and after that they will be taking a mold, and they will be pouring this mash and setting it, and finally making vessels, whatever it be we want, we can create in this paper mash itself. Okay, so that's very popular in the Kashmir region. Okay, all right. Moving on to next important topic. So this is World Heritage Transhumance Initiative. World Heritage Transhumance Initiative. Again, this is a very important initiative by the International Council of Monuments and Sites. We'll be discussing regarding what is this transhumance as well as this particular initiative also. Okay, all right. The background is, like I've said, this is an initiative of International Council on Monuments and Sites, and this is supported by the government of Azerbaijan also. So this ICOMO is a key body which is recommending many important things related to transhumance for UNESCO also. Okay, UNESCO obviously stands for the protection of cultural heritage. Okay, so this body is closely associated with UNESCO also. Okay, so what is the purpose of this? It aims to safeguard cultural landscape shaped by transhumance practices. Okay, so we need to understand what is this transhumance. Okay, so transhumance means it's actually the seasonal migration, seasonal migration of this nomadic community. So they will be migrating. In summer they will be staying in one place, in winter they will be moving on to some place. In Ladakh and all, we can see this kind of things. So they will be moving from summer pastures to the winter pastures. So mostly practiced in the people who are living in the mountainous regions and semi-arid regions. Okay, due to the climate change, due to the climate difference, they had to move from one place to another. Okay, so this is not just simply about this livestock rearing. Maybe we can say this is actually their way of life itself. Okay, earlier period we are all nomads. Humans were nomads. So now this is something which is mostly humans are not practicing. So that is actually the cultural significance of this thing. Okay, all right. So what all are this practice in this holistic way of living? One, their traditional knowledge about the geography, traditional knowledge about how they have to actually move, calculation of the time, all these things are there. So they are, based on this, they have their own cultures, customs as well as rituals are also there, and also the ecological adaptation in different areas, how they are actually adapting in the different ways. So that's also important, and also how they are managing the livestock, because in this movement, livestock should not be harmed. It should not be like if you are starting with 100 livestock, and if you are going there, you are only having 50 livestock alive, means there is no point in it. So how they are actually managing the livestock. So that's also very much important. Okay. All right. So 2023, UNESCO recognized the transhumance in 10 European countries, and also the alpine pasture season in Switzerland also. Again, this is a UNESCO intangible cultural heritage. We will be discussing what is this UNESCO intangible cultural heritage in our next class also. Okay. All right. These are the transhuman communities in India. Okay. India also, there are people who are practicing this transhuman in India. Okay. So one is Gujars and Bakarwals in the Jammu Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh region, Gaddis in the Himachal region, Changpas in the Ladakh region, Raikas and Kurbas in the Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and UP region. Okay, so these are the important tribes. So UPSC really like to have questions from this tribal community. So names of the tribes as well as the location. So in that context, this is very much important. Okay, all right. So that's it for today. So we have one more class remaining. So in this, we'll be discussing regarding like the intangible cultural heritage is there, and also some important dance forms. So like that, things are also coming. Okay, so that will be discussing in our next class, that is tomorrow. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you.